Hello everyone, I'm Priyanka from CSC department. Today we are going to discuss a topic about crash recovery in database management system. Let's get into the topic. Here are some of the topics which we are going to discuss in this session. There are lots of instances that cause the crash of the data in the computer system. It also happens that whole data is damaged and there is no source to recover it. Some of the problems that most probably happen with data crashes are data crash, power failures, software problems. In this, we will see that the different types of problem associated with the database crash and various types of recovery system which are used to get whole or partially data back in the computer system. Crash recovery. Crash recovery is the process by which database is moved back to the consistent and usable state. This is done by rolling back incomplete transaction and completing committed transaction that were still in memory when the crash occurred. Here is the diagram which shows about the database recovery. Failure classifications or classification of failure. It is classified into three types. And the first is transaction failure, system crash, and disk failure. Transaction failure is subdivided into two groups. One is logical error and system error. Minor or non-catastrophic failure. If the recovery is possible from failure, then such failure are nothing but minor failure. System crash. If the computer system produces error in the software, hardware or network, then this type of failure is generated. Transaction failure. It is subdivided into two types. Logical error. Due to some problem in source code, the program execution gives wrong result or behave in improper manner. Such type of error is called as logical error. Logical error is runtime error which will produce wrong output and will not recognizable easily or may causes to crash the system while running. System error. A software malfunction that causes the operation system not to work properly is known as system error. In some cases, to recover the system error needs to replace the part of the system which is responsible for occurrence of system error. Failure due to concurrency control. The concurrency control method may decide to abort the transaction. Major or catastrophic failure. If the recovery is not possible from failure, then such failure is called as major failure. Major failure are of two types. One is disk failure and another one is physical problems. Disk failure is nothing but if any failures occurs during any transaction will cause us to loss of contents in a data block or due to head crash data blocks causes to loss of its contents, then it is referred to as disk crash. Physical problem. This is also non-recoverable type of failure. Storage structure. Volatile storage. As the name suggests, a memory board volatile storage cannot survive the system crashes. Non-volatile storage. These recollections are created to survive system crashes. Recovery. Recovery from transaction failure means that the database is restoring to the most recent consistent state just before the time of failure. If the database is not physically damaged but has become inconsistent due to non-catastrophic failures, then we can use following two logs based recovery algorithm. And first one is deferred update recovery algorithm. Second one is immediate update recovery algorithm. Disadvantages of remote backup system. Detection of failure. It is important to first detect the failure in a system. Backside must detect when primary site has failed to distinguish primary site failure from link failure. Maintain several communication links between the primary and remote backup. Transfer of control. Time to recover. To reduce delay in takeover, backup site periodically processes the redo log of records, performs a checkpoint, and can then delete earlier parts of the log. Time to commit. In the transaction processing, the database is modified when the transaction successfully committed. Once if when the commit log record is written on the database at primary site, then transaction committed successfully. 2. Very safe. When the commit log record is written on the database at primary site as well as remote sites, then transaction committed successfully. 2. Safe. When the commit log record is written on the database at the primary site as remote sites, both sites are active, then transaction committed successfully. Thank you.